Okay. So I just made in just a big list of all the things that are like strategies for handling the holidays. So we can go through the list, we can talk about each one, we can add to the list, but this is just going to be kind of like one of those sessions where we're kind of just throwing out all the ideas because that's what you pick and choose, right? You pick what works for you because there is no right answer for how to handle the holidays. There just isn't. And depending on the situation, depending on the holiday, depending on your emotional tie to whatever's happening, different strategies are going to work for different things. So we'll just talk about all the options and how to use them and how to put them into effect. So okay, so these are in no particular order. I'm just like literally made a list um, of all the things that came to mind. So the first one on here is water, water, water. I find I always drink too little when I'm like there's some kind of activity happening, right? Like because normal part of the day, like I usually have two of these before I'm done with my workout, between energize and just drinking water during my workout. So that's like 64, 60 ounces right there. But like when you get going in the holidays, you are either drinking other things or you're busy doing stuff. And so you don't necessarily have that water with you. So just make sure that you are continuing to drink your water so that you don't have those afternoon lulls or maybe hunger that's not necessarily hunger, right? Might be thirst. So just kind of tap into that, carry a water bottle with you, which kind of segues into another one I have on here, which is when you're having alcohol, have a water in between, right? So that way you're continuing to hydrate. You have a little bit of a break between alcohol drinks so that, you're not getting too crazy, not dancing on the table at Thanksgiving. Turkey on your head, whatever happens.
Breaking chairs.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so then next one I have is avoid foods that you know are going to cause you issues. So while it is kind of fun sometimes to be like a free for all, if you know something's going to make you not feel well, it's best just to avoid it still, right? Even though you might have more food than normal or you may have more sugar than normal, fine, right? But like if you like let's say dairy is going to make you bloated, is going to give you a headache, is going to, give you some indigestion in some way, some irregularity, then if you can, just keep it out because then you already are like helping yourself to feel well through this time. I know for our Thanksgivings, it's like a full on event and we have 3 days of all family coming over and 3 days of different houses. So it's like I know eggs and soy are not my jam. So if there's going to be foods with those things in them, they're going to be super minimal or none. Right? I'll probably still have a few baked goods because that's going to be a minimal serving of egg, and egg isn't immediate for me. But you know what I'm saying? So just kind of keep those things out because you're just helping yourself to feel the best you can because it's I don't know, there's nothing worse than like you're at this party and you want to be enjoying things but you just feel run down or tired or sluggish or bloated. So all those things. Okay. So this one I had to learn. This took me a few years to figure out. I really liked to eat to feel full a lot of times. I liked to eat. I didn't want to miss anything. I wanted to make sure I tried everything. But my strategy for this one is go for the foods you're most excited about, not necessarily all the foods, right? So kind of peruse the scene, take a walk through, see what's happening, or if you're at the table, just kind of survey what's happening, and pick the things that really sound delicious, sound the best, sound satisfying. Because the more you enjoy it, the more you'll feel satisfied from it and likely won't have to have as much too. But if you're eating stuff that is just kind of blah or isn't quite hitting the spot, then you'll want to try something else to see if that satisfies you, right? And then you just kind of keep going. So it's really kind of picking out those things that seem like the best something that you really want. And with that, like, let's say Grandma Mary makes the most amazing pumpkin pie you've ever had, and like that's what you're super looking forward to. I'm all about, then have some pumpkin pie, right?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna like, that could be the thing. But also, while you're having that pumpkin pie, recognize if it's still as amazing as it was in your head too, for future, right? Because that's where you also make another shift where you're like, okay, this is good, but it's not quite like what I remember. And maybe it's not on my exciting food list for next year. Maybe it's not like the big draw I thought it was, kind of a thing. Or you could turn it into the Jennifer Jacobs things we talked about, right? Where it's a 3-date. You have 3 dates with this dessert and just see what you think about it. Give you a chance to, the pumpkin pie is like on my list, but I'm just going to date it for a little bit, see if I want to finish it.
I love that.
I do too. I mean, it's really, I
Yeah.
think it's really freeing
Mhm.
because it's like, just because you took that slice of pie, you're not in any way, shape, or form mandated to finish it.
Right.
So it's kind of like your relationships, right? You can end it. It's your happiness is important here. And so if you get into it, you've had the second date and you're like, yeah, I think I'm good, done. Or maybe you get into it and you're like, this is amazing, I want to marry you. That's how I feel about those Shakeology bars we made last weekend.
Yes, for
The
sure.
salted chocolate maple pecan bars. I want to marry them. Yeah.
Those are so good.
Every day I get a little sliver out of the freezer and I'm like, oh, you're the prettiest little thing.
You still have some? Oh my God.
I do. Yeah. I've been holding back. I cut each like bar in half. And so I'll have like a half sometimes after my workout, just to have a little something. And then sometimes I'll have one at night or sometimes I won't, just kind of whatever it works out to be.
That's funny.
But they're sitting in my freezer.
That's how I treat like all of the things at Thanksgiving. Like if I put it on my plate and then I start eating it and I'm like, yeah, you're really not worth what I'm eating right
Yes.
now. I move on to
Yep.
something else. I'm just like, nope, I don't even care. I'm gonna want like it just, if I'm not loving it, it's like, oh, it's not worth my calories. Thank you.
Right.
Not worth
But if this is a thing for you, like if leaving food on your plate is a thing, if like feeling like you have to take something because someone is there that's made it and it's like a whole thing, then take a little bit, take enough that's a spoonful, have it, and then move on. Right? Like if it wasn't something you really wanted, but somebody's making a big deal out of it, because there's going to be a food pusher somewhere in the group, right? It's funny because I catch myself doing it and I'm like, Deanna, stop pushing food on people. Like I was like pushing a hemp latte on the poor worker the other day because I'm like, you really have to try these. These are amazing. I catch myself doing it. So yeah, just you know what I mean? So if there's pressure in those situations, just take just enough to try it. And don't focus in on it too much.
Or what happens if like you're a stress eater and drinker and your relatives really stress you out?
Yes.
And so it's when you have more over, it's like everything goes out the window, all your good intentions, all your good, like, all this nice list of things that I plan to do, but I'm all stressed. So I just eat and eat and eat and drink alcohol and just screw everything up.
Yeah. That's where I would plant myself next to a veggie plate, or I'd bring the veggie plate. And that's where I just stress eat off that, right? Like handfuls of pea pods and carrots and celery and whatever. And like, you just have at it and just keep going. But I'd also like, that's a good opportunity to also figure out, why is this so stressful for me? And how can I help myself in this situation, right? Like, what's stressful? And maybe just trying to look at it in a different way. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know a good example, but like if someone in particular stresses you out, what if you think about
Uh-huh.
them and whatever they're saying coming from a
Yeah.
different point of view? Like, they mean this in the best way, so I'm going to take this as if they mean it in a loving, like, great way, and not in a critical way, or not in a
Yeah.
way that's
Yeah.
harmful.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's great advice. That's great advice. And I'm
You
working
can
like,
always go for a walk somewhere, right? If it gets too much.
Yeah.
Dogs
Be
for
like,
walks.
yeah. Just be
I
like,
can
hey,
do
I'm
that.
just gonna go walk around the block real quick, just get some fresh air.
Or
Yeah.
go work out or go do something like that. Cause yeah. And also like I'm extra hard on like personal development and just like mindset these days, trying to improve that whole thing. So to prepare for the holidays and everything else that is stressful right now. So yeah, so hopefully that will help too.
Yes. And don't expect things to be perfect, because they won't, right? I mean, even though you're
Right.
doing such a great job of thinking about it, focusing on it, putting things into action, but there's going to be things that don't go the right way, or don't go the way you wanted them to go, right? And it's okay.
Right.
It's okay. You know,
Mhm.
this day that's going to be stressful, um, it tomorrow gets to be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
So, you can wake up that next day and be like, that day is gone. We'll just leave it back there and
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, that comes to my use strategies like so this is also something I use all the time. I can have this anytime I want. This was a big thing for me in shifting my thinking, because I think we talked last week about how I don't share food. And this is one of those things, right? Because it's like, I'm so focused on this amazing thing I've brought home and I need to have it, or I'd overeat it while I was at the restaurant or while I'm at the family gathering, because it's like, this is so amazing. And I really had to focus in on, I can have this anytime. I can make it again. I can buy it again. This person can make it again, right? Like, this isn't the last time I can have this. So let's just have enough to feel good and move on. So
Yeah.
that really can help with things too. If there's some kind of food that really draws you in, that you're chronically, kind of an overeater on. Sue would say M&Ms, right?
Yeah.
You can have those M&Ms anytime you want.
Yes, I can. And I do.
Okay, so I said go for a walk. I think that's a good strategy. Any Thanksgiving, anytime, no matter what's happening, because you just feel better, even if it's
Yeah.
like literally around the block and with some fresh air, you just feel
Yeah.
better, right? It helps with the bloating. It helps just move, or volunteer to help with some dishes or something. I don't know, just kind of move around and do some things.
Those are great ideas.
And then, well, we're still going, Christina. I got a whole list here.
Okay. Oh, I'm writing them all down. I've got them.
All right. So then this is a big one too. Eat before you go, or just eat your regularly scheduled meals. So like Wednesday is our day where everybody arrives in town. So Wednesday morning, I'm still going to have my oatmeal and cauliflower rice. I'm going to still have a regular lunch. And then that evening is when we're having all the appetizers at someone's house, right? So I'm still going to be like even keeled with my hunger, with the normal things I would have eaten. That way, when I go there, I'm not famished. I haven't been waiting all day for these foods or this thing. So it makes it easier then to have the smaller bites, the smaller plate, to pass food up, because if you're not ravenous, it's the same thing when you go to the grocery store, right? Like, when you're ravenous and you're like, everything needs to come into my cart, I'm probably going to have you in the car on the way home. Let's just keep, throwing stuff in. It's the way it is. So make sure you're just keeping, and the other piece to that would be, like, let's say say you're going somewhere in the evening, you're going to have some cocktails, there's going to be some options that maybe are carb heavy or, not quite as protein or veggie focused. So make sure you're having those veggies and protein earlier, right? You could skip your rice or skip some oatmeal and focus in on just veggies and fruit and protein during the day. Then you've you've planned ahead. So you've saved some containers for later if you're doing portion fix or gut protocol. And 2B mindset, then you're kind of reversing your meals, right? You're going to have those meats and veggies for breakfast, and then you can have your carb filled stuff later. But all of that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? You can just kind of shift things around, and it's not to say it's still going to end up being on plan, right? It's still likely to go over, but it's still in a better place than it would have been. And you'll likely feel better because you've still had all that fiber and protein. So your body is going to feel better on those things, having had it already. Okay. So, focusing on family and friends and the event and the things going on versus the food line. So some of that is maybe not standing next to the food. If there's things that are, calling you, then I wouldn't stand there. And, you could get your plate and then go stand somewhere else, right? Like, so get what you want to have your plate. Or fill it up with some veggies and go stand and go have a conversation with somebody. So any of the, or if you, like, the person you want to talk to is next to the food, fill that plate with some veggies and some great snacks and sit there and talk to them, and you're still eating too, right? So you've kind of planned for that. So we talked about small plate, filling your plate with veggies and protein first, and then adding in the bites of the things you want to try, of sides that you want to try. Trying to think, what is everybody's favorite side that they like to go for at Thanksgiving?
M&Ms. Oh, I'm
You bring the bowl of M&Ms. You're like, here's what I brought today.
No, mine is actually the sweet potatoes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I saw Autumn. So Bev and I were talking about, she did like a 60-minute quick video of gut friendly. And there was a sweet potato recipe in there. I haven't looked up. Yeah. I'm sure it's on Fixate, I would guess.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Anybody else? What's your favorite?
I like cheesy potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good too.
Yeah. That's like my fave side dish, but I also like stuffing with my turkey and gravy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I like a good stuffing. You can't just
Yeah.
because we made one last year and I was like, oh man, that is right on. It was so good.
Yeah.
Sausage that you made in it.
What?
You put the sausage that you made in the stuffing.
That one didn't have sausage in it. It was, yeah.
I was
But
just
that
curious.
would be really
I don't
good.
like sausage in it, but I was just curious. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I tried to find, we were talking one morning, there's a cauliflower stuffing that I've made a couple times, and I cannot find the recipe I used. I mean, there's tons of them out there, so I'd give them a try. But I can't find the one that I actually made. I must not have pinned it in my Pinterest. And, but it is so good. It's like you roast the cauliflower and then you're putting in all the same things. You're putting in some chicken broth and some veggies and, all that same seasoning. And it was so, so good. So I'd highly recommend trying to find that if you really like that stuffing flavor, because then you can have it year round, right? Like you can have it anytime.
Yeah. That's great.
Okay, so another one here is to volunteer to bring some food, right? So like maybe the place you're showing up is just gonna be all the foods that you probably don't want to engage in, or maybe you just want a little bit of, but there's not going to be options to help fill your plate. And so it's a great time to volunteer. I pretty much, in this family, everybody knows I'm going to bring something with some vegetables. It's just the way it is, right? This year, I'm looking at making a butternut squash hummus. Sounds really yummy because that'll be great for appetizers. And then I'm gonna take the delicata squash and I'm just gonna, cut the half moons and do it with rosemary and throw them in the oven. And then I'm gonna make a tahini dip to so we can just eat them like French fries. And so those will just sit out and people can just kind of eat them and snack while we're waiting for other things to finish up. Okay. So yeah, so I volunteer to bring things that are going to work for you. Okay, and then we talked about 3 dates already and then plan ahead. So the planning ahead is what we kind of already covered too about, like saving room in your containers or your to be mindset plan so that you've made arrangements to have those foods and you've done other foods earlier in the day. Shakeology is always a great thing to have ahead of time. You get that, sweet craving out of the way. And then, that's the other thing. I'm going to make the chocolate caramel. I think they're called buddies, Muddy Buddies. I can't remember.
Right.
It's like that, the cereal and pretzel with the chocolate Shakeology on it. So I'm going to make those to have, because everybody's at our house on Friday. So I'm going to make those to have for people just to grab and snack on and try them out.
Whoa.
So good. So
Sounds
what else
good.
did I miss?
Well, you didn't miss any, but I'm just going to add a couple things. So going all the way back to number one about drinking water. So what I have been doing lately, because I found myself not drinking a lot of water, is I filled up my gallon jug. And even though I don't finish the whole gallon all day, like the whole day, I can at least measure it and see how much I drank. So if you don't do that on a regular basis, on those days where you're going to dinner for the holidays, might be a good day to get something big like that and actually take it with you, because
Yeah.
like family, who cares if you walk in with a gallon jug of water, right?
Right.
So that's what I do, or I'm planning on doing. And don't hesitate bringing your own food. So for instance, I'm hosting Thanksgiving, but we're going to my brother's for the Saturday after. They were doing all this, that. And I already told him, I said, don't worry about me. Don't make anything special for me. I will bring. So I'm just going to like saute up some vegetables and bring it. And that's what I'm going to eat while everybody else is eating chili. So don't hesitate bringing your. And then, when you go to a restaurant, you always look up the menu. So you know what you're going to order. Well, at least we do. I know Bev does, I'm sure. I do. So that way I'm not tempted to get something else. Well, kind of think about like, we're pretty consistent with Thanksgiving meal. We always have kind of the same thing. So think about what people might have and already plan what you're going to eat ahead of time. And that way it'll it'll sort of stop that grazing. So
Yes.
those
Great
are my
idea.
3 tidbits for the holidays.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we bring like a bunch of our food because with our food sensitivities, it has gotten to the point where thank heavens that it's my aunt that makes it. And while she's not willing to transition any of her recipes as easy as it could be to make them gluten-free at the very minimum, at least she has a list. Like she's like, this is what I'm making. This is what's in the food. Like she literally has it listed out for me at this point. And it's like, okay, so 3 out of the 4 of us can eat that. And I will bring this for, and it's like, okay, or none of us can eat that. I will bring this. It's very much like, so I bring a lot of our food, and I'm going to tell you right now that my stepmother and my dad, they roll their eyes at me. They give me all sorts of grief, and I could really care the flip less.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right?
People are
gonna talk regardless. So if you're bringing your gallon water jug and that's what they get to talk about that day, then and that's what they're talking about. It just is what it is.
Exactly.
The best one is they're going to say, oh, are you on a diet? No, I'm not on a diet. This is just how I eat,
I mean, here's what's so funny to me. Like you get all these fruits and vegetables and you put that in your grocery cart. And like, I've had neighbors be like, oh, you've got all the healthy stuff. I'm like, no, I've just got food. There's food in here. Like, I didn't buy it in a box.
Right.
It's just food.
I know, right. It's like, no, just, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, yeah. But I mean, we catch grief about it, and it's caused all sorts of stuff. But you know what? I know what makes me and my family feel good, and I'm not going to let their insecurities really,
Right. Yeah.
cause me and my
It's yeah.
family to deal with issues. I mean, you're the one with the issues, apparently.
Right. Yeah.
We don't
It
have an
is
issue.
definitely more about them. Yeah. Than you.
I
Yeah.
know. We're
Yeah.
practically bringing all of our food, and you're
Right.
upset
Yeah.
about it. Come on. Anyway, so
And I
yeah.
would say too, like along the lines of bringing something, like I already know I'm gonna have more than my 6 ounces or 4 ounces of kombucha over the next few days. Because to me, it's a really great sub for not having beer and alcohol because I don't really care about it, but I love having that kind of crisp flavor that kombucha brings because it reminds me of a sour beer. So but if that's your swap, it's fine, right? Like during that day. And so like if you want to have some kind of a treat like that where you're, having a little extra seltzer water or something, whatever sounds fun in place of other things that maybe you don't want, or it doesn't matter as much, is what I'm trying to say.
I love flavored seltzer waters with Energize.
Oh, I've never even
It is
tried
like,
that.
oh my gosh, it is so good. It's so good. Like,
Okay.
I get so my favorite one is Waterloo. I mean,
Yeah.
bubbly is good, but I like Waterloo, and I get the black cherry, and
Yeah.
then really you add any of the Energizes to it, and it's just like so good.
Oh, I'm gonna do that because I always have Spindrift on hand. That's
Yeah.
my favorite. But yeah, I'm gonna try that. That sounds amazing. I don't even know how I haven't had that in my life.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, just be careful if you're actually gonna like use like your little blender dealy or shake it because it is
Well,
carbonated.
I think I'll put the
so-
powder in and then just pour it on top so it kind of mixes in as it's like I'll put the powder in first, maybe.
Yeah, so I usually will just put like a little bit in and then put the Energize in and then mix it however you want to mix it. And then I add ice in and then I add more liquid.
Okay.
Because I've made a mess before.
Yeah. I have with my first thing too, and the cranberry juice. I
no.
took my little blender thing to the middle and that thing just so now I know I gotta keep it on the edge.
That's funny. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, good. All right. Any more things you can think of, tips or issues you want to try to solve, ways to handle it? We'll watch Sandra shop in the grocery store here while she's gone.
Oh, don't be putting those in the cart. We see that.
Yeah, non-gluten-free bread. Okay, not for me.
We can't see
I'm
what
here
you're
getting-
grabbing.
No.
Well, it's like everything
can
I
see
have
the
to
ceiling.
get is all junk food. It's like since we're out anyway, it's like should I go grab this stuff so we don't have to come out tomorrow?
There you
Yeah.
go.
And of course, like my brother wants chips, he wants 7-Up. What can you do, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, good. Any questions on anything else happening right now? Our gut protocol chat's been a little bit quiet. We'll have to revive that maybe after the holiday to see how everybody's hanging in there and did through the holidays, feeling through the holidays, because likely you'll, may have something, may have introduced something a little early if you're just starting out in the gut protocol. See how that felt.
Yeah.
Need to get my butt back in gear.
Same here.
It's just some ebbs and flows, right? You're always on the track. You just kind of Sometimes you slow
Yeah.
down, sometimes you speed up. You just, as long as you're always like, I'm gonna keep coming back. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep working on it. That's the part that matters the most.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of what it is. Like right now, it's I know with my body what beating I got. It's
Yes.
just trying to relax a little bit.
Yep.
So
So let's see. So coming up December 4th is the next meal prep class. I haven't started looking at recipes yet, but I think we'll probably do another Shakeology dessert because there's just so many that they're putting out right now that look amazing that I just want to try some more.
Maybe those chocolate peanut butter cookies.
Yeah, those did look amazing because you could
Those-
probably do it with
With
multiple
something-
flavors.
Yes, and sprinkles on them or something, you know?
Yeah.
oh,
Okay, I missed this recipe. Where is this recipe at?
Let me find it. It looks so good.
That one looks
It
pretty.
sounds amazing. Chocolate peanut butter cookies.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's with the chocolate caramel
Sounds good.
Shakeology.
Oh boy. See, I'm
Wow.
like blazing through those packets. I cannot get enough of that flavor. I really
Really?
cannot. I'm
And I
like,
haven't even ordered it
I'm
yet.
I'm
I don't
so
get it
glad I
until
ordered 3
Monday.
boxes. I'm so glad I ordered 3 boxes, and I'm like sitting there going, should I order more? Like, it is really, really good. I mean, oh, I can't
They're
even help myself.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. You
Um,
go.
They're chocolate sea salt peanut butter cookies.
Yeah, I think
And
so.
so they're oats, the chocolate caramel brownie, baking powder, peanut butter, almond milk, vegan egg replacement. So this one will be great for me to try because I haven't tried any kind of egg replacement. Vanilla and dark chocolate chips and coconut oil. So there's no additional sweetener
Oh.
in there. Like a lot of the desserts we're adding maple syrup or adding something. This one is
Yeah.
just the Shakeology is sweetening it. So I don't know. And it'll makes 12 cookies. 2 scoops. You need two packets. So
Mhm.
Oh wow.
That's good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what
I
would
guess
be-
because
What would be the egg replacement?
I don't, could you do flax eggs there? Do you
yeah,
think?
flax eggs.
Or remember Jess put in that one group a picture, or maybe it was Lily did
Fava?
from the Trader Joe's. It had like an replacement, so it would be that. And
You
it
could
calls-
use I was gonna say you could use fava juice or
Oh
fava
yeah,
juice. From like it's bean juice from garbanzo beans.
Mhm.
yeah.
And you
So
can
it's 3
whip that up.
tablespoons, so it's not a lot.
Oh.
So yeah, you could probably use a multitude of things in there, but
That one
Yeah.
looks good. So
that one does look really good. And
Well,
what else,
flax
Sandra?
eggs adds a little extra flax, you know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Which
which is
isn't a
good in
bad thing.
omega-3 and 6. So yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so where did you find this recipe though?
it's on the blog.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And so they said too in that one call that they were going to be, like that one girl, Holly, had made 5 or 6 recipes alone off that chocolate caramel. So they were going to be posting more baked goods and more recipes on the blog.
Mm. The other one that looks really good is the dark chocolate banana fudgy bars. Those look really good.
Now, did they look like fudge? They're like squares?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I saw that one too.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think they've had those for a long time though. The ones that are like no bake,
Yeah,
Uh,
the
but
no
these,
bake brownie bars or something.
yeah, but it is a new post.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
'cause
maybe
it's
they
not
just
the caramel
changed it and just added that Shakeology
Maybe a
flavor.
different flavor. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, they've had that and they've had the pudding
Yeah.
for like ever. But if they're flipping around the flavor, I just saw the vanilla chai chocolate chip cookies.
Oh,
But it looks like in the picture though, it looks like they're like, like the whoopie pies. You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about? It looks like that, but they don't tell you how they do that. They just tell you how to make the cookies. It's like
Oh.
a false advertising picture.
Well, there's that frosting that Alana makes too. You could combine it with a To Be Mindset because she's got something in there where she makes like a frosting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I did the hot chocolate last night with Recover with cinnamon.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was really good. It totally
Hmm.
feels like you're just cheating on everything. It was
Yeah,
I'm gonna try it tonight.
I believe that.
Yeah. Oh, so did we talk about making sure you still get your workout in? I mean, we talked a lot about food, but
You know,
did
we didn't talk about movement, but yeah, keeping that the same, trying to keep your sleep the same too. Trying to
Yeah.
keep it so that you're getting enough sleep during during the holidays. I mean, that's a big thing, right? Because that then can stress you even more if you're not getting enough sleep, plus make your cravings worse.
Right.
So yeah, definitely sleep and moving. So if like for some reason you have family in town, you're not able to like do your workout, then just, you know, get outside for a walk, just move in some way, move somehow.
And I'm sure we'll still have a group of us in the virtual gym that morning.
Yeah,
Getting
oh,
our-
I'm sure. We always do. Yep, we always do.
Everybody should join us there.
Yeah. And Saturday, to make note of that, if anybody watches the recording too, Saturday, we're doing the Sure Thing sample workout together.
This Saturday.
This Saturday. Yep. So everybody's invited to come hang out and try it out. And you know, you could pop on anytime. I know Lily will plan on being on there by 7. But there may be some people on earlier doing it too. So if you're in a different time zone and want to do that earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just check with
I'm
your
gonna
coach.
be early because
Just check with Bev.
we have
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it'll probably be like for me, I'm Eastern, so it'll probably be anywhere between 8 and 10. I'll hop on and just stay on and do it when there's a group of
I
us.
I think that isn't it Haley or is it Nikki that will be still getting on? Or well, I know Kyla gets on still like
She's
at
very early.
6
Yeah.
or 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, probably. I don't know. I don't even know how early she gets on.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah, and
know
I
if-
think a lot of the Saturday ones, they still do it earlier, maybe not as early as during the week, but yeah. And if
Yeah.
you're in the chat, just throw in there, hey, I'm gonna jump on, and people will be like, yeah, I'm on, or I'll jump on.
Yeah,
Yep.
because most likely I'm sitting there drinking a coffee or something, just kind of sitting there waiting.
And then Sue can drink her coffee and watch you work out. It'll be perfect. That's what when I pop on at 7:30, I'm always eating my breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And these days I've just been hopping on just to get myself pumped up to go do some yoga.
Right?
Mhm.
Yeah. That's what it's all
I'm
about.
just like, okay, let's do this again today.
So,
It is what it is.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, you are so right. This dark chocolate banana fudgy bars looks unreal.
Yeah.
looks good, don't they?
Yeah.
I think I
Yeah,
might
A lot of
I'm
really
buy
delicious
another
things.
box. Did you find it? Did you find the recipe, Christina?
No, I didn't look at the recipe yet, but just the name of it sounds so good.
It looks like fudge.
It
Like, that's
does.
what it looks like.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
that. Let's do that one on the meal prep.
Mhm.
Let's see
It
what we
looks
got in
good.
here.
I think I mean, as long as you have, it's bananas, dates.
So dates, banana, and we did dates last week, so people can use up the dates they bought.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Try it.
Right. Because they never come well, actually, I take that back. Some swanky places you can get you can use tongs and get just these couple dates and no. Most places it's like you got a bag or
You gotta buy a whole
Yeah,
container.
Bev, though, you might need to order another box because this has 2
I
scoops.
know. That's what I was just thinking. I'm like, oh my gosh, I might need to order another box.
I don't know, you guys. I might have to try making some of this for Thanksgiving just to see how it turns out.
Yes, yeah. The only thing that's a bummer, I think, about the maple bars is they kind of need to be frozen to handle well.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's, you know, what I mean, otherwise, like if they would have firmed up,
Mhm.
though, I mean, I just serve those all the time. People eat them like crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? They're just a little bit harder to handle unless
Yeah.
they're frozen. And then once they thaw, then they're still going to be harder to handle. But yeah. So
Right.
just
I
a
agree.
treat for me, I guess.
Or serve with a spoon.
There you go.
I mean, you know.
You
I
could
think-
you could make it look really fancy with spoons out and they're already in the spoon and then people feel like it's a super fancy dessert, you know.
I've eaten them both ways, I will tell you, and they've tasted just as good.
I love it.
Well, this
Yeah.
is cashew butter too. I guess you could use any type of butter. It says
I
peanut
have
butter.
a
Like,
cashew peanut mix that would
Mm.
be good in that too. And it's
Wow.
super smooth too. So
Trader Joe's had a cashew butter, and the last couple times that I've been there, they haven't had it, so it's kind of annoying me because it
Mm.
was really good.
Oh, Trader Joe's has a lot of sourcing issues. That's where I get my sun butter from, my sunflower butter.
Oh,
And
that's so
they
good.
don't have the one that it has no sugar in it. I accidentally bought some that has sugar in it from Vitacost.
Really?
Oh my Lanta. I was like, this is like candy. Like
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is so sweet. It's insane. I'm like,
Is
oh,
it this one?
yes, that's the one that I get.
Yeah.
And they're out of it here in Missouri. Yeah,
Oh.
it's discontinued in Missouri. We can't get it.
Mhm.
They only have the one with added sugar. And so I'm just hoping that it comes back because Jess said she gets this like bell pepper and something mix. I don't know. It has sugar in it. So I don't get it. I'm like I told her, I'm like, you know that has sugar in it? She's like,
Yeah.
no,
Well,
but now I do.
their coconut aminos used to not have added sugar.
Mhm.
And now their whatever formula they're doing now has
Oh,
added.
oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
But
I
she
just used my last bottle of the one that didn't have added sugar in it.
and they may have changed it because she said that it got discontinued and then it came back.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I
Just
just
takes
really,
too
really
long.
hope that it comes back because
look
their sun butter is so good.
So I'll look and see, because this one's
Yeah.
almost.
I need to go because I'm out of furikake and like I'm finding out that I need that in my life more.
Wait,
So.
what is that? Because I need to try.
Seaweed, sesame seeds, and salt. It's a mix,
Oh, no, I
and
don't
you
need
put it
that.
on Asian foods. It's so good. It's so good. It's the best on brown rice with a little bit of sesame oil. It's amazing.
Really?
Yeah,
Mm,
and I mean Jack goes through it like it's like he just practically drinks it. So I gotta keep a couple bottles on hand.
so
What is it called?
Furikake. So Furikake. It's
I'm writing it down.
it's seaweed, sesame seeds, and salt. And so like if you like that kind of Asian flavoring, I guess, and
I
things,
love
then,
it.
yeah, then I put it on brown rice and like I'll have leftover salmon with it and it's so good.
Oh my gosh, sounds amazing.
Yeah, no.
And it's in the
I know,
it's in
I'm
the
like
spice
over here with you. I'm
section.
like, yeah, pass. Thank you.
I'll stick to the sunflower butter.
I know, right? I'll just get my sunflower butter. It'd be great. But yeah, I replace peanut butter usually with sun butter unless I'm making it for like a party or something. And then I get just an organic peanut butter.
Yeah, because this definitely has a different taste to it.
It does,
It almost.
but it
like-
is.
I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of greenish.
I don't think it's green.
The color's a little
I-
different. It's a little
I
different.
think that
Yeah.
I think that I mean, like it doesn't taste like peanut butter. Actually, I've grown to the point where I like sunflower butter better than peanut butter.
Huh.
And initially though, I searched for a sunflower seed butter that tasted as close as possible to peanut butter.
Oh.
And they were like the second one. I can't remember what the first one was.
Yeah,
Was it Once Again?
once again, from Deerverse.
Scott thinks it was Once Again.
Huh.
Once Again, sunflower seed butter. I mean, they also have peanut butter too. They make a really, really good organic peanut butter.
Trader Joe's
It's
one that has
so good.
sugar. So, be not as sweet as this one.
I know the one that I got from it. I ordered it from Vitacost, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, can I return it? Like it is so sweet. I mean, so sweet. I just can't even. I don't know when I'm ever going to use it. I mean, because initially what I was thinking I would do is I would use it when I was like cooking something or making something for like taking somewhere. And it's just like I literally will have to transition any recipe that has added sugars because it
Oh,
is
yeah, and
that
take more
sweet.
out. Yeah.
I mean, it's intense.
Wow.
And I mean, it's organic and and the sugar is organic, but it is still sweet as it's insane.
Hmm.
So
All
I guess if I
right, well,
want candy, I can have that instead.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're already almost 6 o'clock. I don't what's tomorrow's Funky Friday?
Oh, what is it? I
Anybody
just
remember?
posted it tonight.
Gratitude.
Let me
It's gratitude, right?
yes,
Oh, gratitude.
gratitude.
Whew, I don't have to wear anything. I mean, I'll wear
No,
something.
Please don't show
We're
up nude.
grateful for Sue not wearing anything.
No, I'll wear something. I didn't mean it that way. I meant like something. I am so grateful.
We're so grateful that Sue showed up in clothes today. No one showed up without clothing. It's good. It's a grateful thing to be.
And then yeah, and we won't have a meeting next Thursday. So we'll see you the Thursday after, which will
Yeah.
be right before the meal prep class. Wow,
Cool.
man, that happens fast. I gotta get on the menu planning.
You looked at the new
Well,
recipe.
we already know the fudgy.
I don't know. I'm
Whatever
tempted
it
to do
is.
the cookies though too.
Which ones?
The ones we just talked about.
The chocolate peanut butter
Yeah.
ones?
Yeah.
Good too.
Have you looked at any of the recipes in the new Ultimate Reset?
I have looked at some, but I haven't, you'd have to have a bod subscription to get to it technically. So that's why I use the blog one. So everybody has access no matter where their access point is.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I have not made any yet and I need to because there's so many good looking things in there.
Are you
And-
talking about the chocolate peanut butter ice cream sandwiches?
Nope.
No, there's
Oh.
cookies. and then
Salted
there's-
chocolate peanut butter cookies.
I still haven't found them yet.
They're like,
I
if
keep
you just
looking.
go into the blog, they're one of the top recipes. They're like, just go into the blog
Oh.
without searching anything.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I did, and it took me to 30 Sublime Shakeology dessert
They look like
for the
this.
holidays. Okay, I'll flip. I'll flip.
Yeah.
You keep going. You just keep going.
So yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know. I'll have to look and see all these recipes they're coming out with. We'll get something good in
I
there.
know, right?
I feel like I need to be here every single day because I don't want to miss anything.
I know.
Ooh.
Seriously.
Oh my.
Ooh, ah.
Now they have chocolate
My.
orange cookies too, but those don't look as good.
Which one?
There's the chocolate orange ricotta cookies, but those don't-
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw those. I
I'm
don't know.
not a
these
big
chocolate
orange
peanut
and
butter
chocolate
ones.
person.
Yeah. This might be how I
so-
get Luke to eat Shakeology. These
You
are
know,
cookies.
those like oranges that were like made of chocolate. You know what I'm
Yes.
talking about?
Yes.
Scott's mom years ago when we first got together, she would always buy these for like
Okay.
Scott and his sister, and it was just like they're so nasty. And she was like, I know you guys love these, and we're like, and he's over there. No, I don't. It's
Aren't they?
awful.
Aren't they a Terry brand or something? So if my friend Terry watches this, I think she would used to get one of those for Christmas every year as well, because I think that's the name of them.
Oh, it's like the brand name. That's funny.
Yeah, they had them at Aldi today.
they-
That's what totally reminded me. But yeah, she really liked to do, like, she would take orange rind and crystallize it and then dip it in chocolate. Like, she was a very big like chocolate orange blender. Like,
Yeah,
she would
that
make
is not
that.
my
She'd make,
flavor.
like candied ginger and candied orange and peel, and it was just like,
Yeah.
no.
No, thanks.
No.
Baklava without.
Yes, her baklava was insanely amazing.
Oh, now
She made it.
baklava. I will take
That's
some of
good.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was so good. He's gonna run over here now and tell you all about his mother's.
Well,
No,
he's
no,
gonna
I-
have to wait because we got to get off here.
Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go.
For another time.
You could save it for the next
Well,
meeting.
this will never come up again. A Greek friend of mine says that my mom's baklava was the best he's ever had.
Oh,
Really?
well, there you go.
It was
Well,
really good.
That's
next
it.
time we all get together, I think your mom needs to make some for us.
Right.
She can't.
Oh, okay. No worries.
No. She's not with her senses anymore.
Gotcha. Okay. No worries. We don't
Not
need him.
with her faculties.
Really good.
No, but she literally said, all I do is follow the recipe on the box.
There you go.
That's all she does. Like,
Wow.
well, still, I
We
guess
just
she
need to
did
find the
that.
right box.
I know, right? Find the right box of the bride. It's like a phyllo dough, probably.
Yeah,
Right.
probably. It's just made with love. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. She's a really good cook. She was a really, really good cook. So
Hmm. Anywho, all right, girls. See
All
you in
right.
the-
Well, hope you guys all have a great Thanksgiving,
You too.
and we'll see you after. We can hear all
Yep.
about how it went.
yeah, it'll be great.
All
Yeah.
right. Have a good
All
night,
right.
guys.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Bye.